なれる理由を知った僕を連れて進めどうしたって
Came up from the bottom, better move with caution. When I bring this out, final form, I'm a slave. When I pull up, get thunderclap, my slayers running back. Make sure these demons remember the name. I do them dirty like EU when I'm dead calm. Till I get hot, but I see through all your dead plots. I'm in the guys in these suit, cut your head off. Pull up with your demons, I'm making sure they next gone. Been like a pen on my lenses, breathing when I'm breath lost. That wrong, thinking that's my best shot. Flower guy, Hino, Kami Kagada. Upper moon, lower moon, say I'm like a hot shit out. Whirlpool flow, cause I'm trying to drip. Flash dance, leaving mans in a dry eclipse. You talk shit, see it, and it's coming out from inside your mouth. So tomorrow going out a bitch. I pulled up when my slayers on a power trip. You come back, make sure you're going down again. Get thunderclap like a demon slayer alchemist. Protect your sis so they don't ever doubt the kid.
Hi guys, and today is the start of a new what if called What If Deku Had Natsus Powers. Anyway, let's start this what if off with a boy with green hair boy named Izuku protecting a boy from Bakugo. As Bakugo would say, Izuku, get out of my way or I will have to beat you too, while shooting a small explosion as a threat, but Izuku would hold his ground saying, no I won't, I will not let you touch him, I don't care if I get hurt, I will protect him. As then Bakugo would smirk saying, you asked for it, as he would lunge at him, hitting him with a big explosion as he would fall on his knees. As Bakugo would continue for over 10 minutes as Izuku would be there on the ground with burn marks all over his body and clothes, as Izuku would try to get up but wouldn't be able to as he was too weak to do so, but instead he would start crawling, but his eyes would start to go blurry as he was about to pass out. He would see a red figure as his eyes would close, as he would be passed out for an hour, as he would wake up seeing a small fire, as he would get up seeing he was in a cave. As he was about to freak out, he would see a giant dragon as he would try to run but would get grabbed by one of its claws. As Izuku would start to scream, but the giant dragon would tell him to calm down. As Izuku would do so, he would let him down near the fire. As the dragon would, he will be right back. As just a few minutes later he would arrive back with a giant boar that was 10 times the size of Izuku. As Izuku would gasp in shock as he has never seen a boar that big in his entire life. Then the dragon would slice the boar into pieces for Izuku to have. As Izuku would grab a piece of the boar and bite into it as he was hungry, Izuku would say, man, this boar is so good. Then Ignell would say, boy, what is your name? Izuku would say, my name is Izuku Midoriya. As Ignell would say, that is a nice name, Izuku. My name is Ignell the fire dragon, nice to meet you. I saved you when that boy knocked you out. I will teach you the ways of the dragon slayer. Wait, what is that? With a confused tone in his voice, Ignell would say, it's magic from the dark ages. Dark ages? What is that? As Ignell would respond with, it is magic humans created to slay dragons, and it was very powerful until it became unuseful as dragons began to die out and hide as the humans overran us. As they continued to grow stronger, the magic they used to slay us become nothing but a myth, and soon magic was just a myth, one known by few if not any. But since no one used it anymore, we decided to make our own, which is the same, except if any human were to use it, it would turn their lungs into that of a dragon and their hands that of dragons, but would stay the same, although fire would no longer affect them. Also, they would have a chance to sneeze fire, so you must not hurt anyone with the power. You will soon learn. So Izuku would start training with him and learn some of the abilities. Izuku would really want to learn the fire dragon wings so he could do a flame kick, so Izuku would practice on a wall, and he would notice a little red scale on his hand as a small fire would build up on his hands and legs, not much but noticeable. As Deku would ask Ignell about this, and Ignell would say, it's your awakening as a dragon slayer faster than I thought. It's honestly pretty impressive if I don't say myself, although since I met you I saw great potential in you, that of someone I knew long ago. As we would flash back to Ignell training Natsu, as he would start to give a light smile as Izuku would ask, why are you smiling? As Ignell would say, oh nothing, as Izuku would respond with, oh okay. As Ignell would continue to train Izuku, as after a few months of training Izuku's flame could go to the size of a human, as Izuku would say bye to Ignell for the day, heading back to his house, where he would enter his room lying down in his bed sleeping, as he would wake up at 4 a.m. leaving the house without anyone noticing. He would go to the forest to meet Ignell, where he would see no one there, as he would call out for Ignell, wait for a response. Hear nothing, as he would be quite sad, but would notice a note on the ground. As he would pick it up, he would read it, as it would say, hey Izuku, I'm Sorry I have to, it's been a good time but I have to go, I'm sorry Izuku PLS forgive me, as Izuku would drop his paper as tears would flood his eyes as he would say why as the tears would start and intense heat would build up from Izuku as Izuku's arms and legs and chest would get covered in red scales as he would punch a mountain making a giant crater the size of 10 trees as he would be shocked at what he has done but his eyes would go blurry as he would pass out as he would wake up a few hours later seeing the sun had came up. He realized he might be late for school as he would run to school, but then he remembered it's a Saturday, but he was still pretty sad about Ignell to the point where he stopped training and all he did was being in his room or eating for months until he finally came to why Ignell left as he realized he probably had a good reason as he would remember everything they did together as he would give a smile looking up at the sky as he would then go to school, where we will time skip to the start of the anime where we would see Izuku. He would be sitting at his desk as everyone was being loud besides Izuku as Izuku always kept to himself. But soon after that the teacher would come in saying calm down class, calm down, good, now I would hand you these papers of what you want to be, but instead he would throw the papers up in the air saying we all know you want to become heroes as everyone would start to use their quirks besides Bakugo as he would give his same speech as in canon, but since we're on that subject let's read some out as he would read out Bakugo's first saying. He would want to go to UA as everyone would start to whisper saying I think he might since he is the strongest in the school, but then the teacher would say let's read Izuku's as he would say Izuku why didn't you fill it out, as Izuku would respond with because I don't want to be anything. As the teacher would say okay in a confused tone as he would think in his head oh what a weird kid, as then he would say anyway let's get class started. As he would start the class, but that not important, so let's go to the end of school. As Izuku would leave he would walk under a bridge where he would see a sludge villain lounging at him. Izuku would smirk saying flaming dragon roar as he would hit his two fists together as a flame would appear around him. He would hit the sludge completely destroying it. As he would leave going home he would start to make a costume as he decided he will be a vigilante, as this is where I'm going to leave it off. Bye.